I'm kind of caught in a jiff right now. I'm trying to fix my live stream, trying to see if it's online right now. In the meantime, I'm also trying to catch up on my markings. I had a great weekend last weekend, this weekend, and coming back again and to the office and just my home office and just catching up on my markings and whatnot feels good. So I'm gonna be going looking over my charts. I've been looking at bonds, interest rates, how's that positively affecting the dollar, and looking to see if how that will help us with the markings on the indices, talking NQES and what's the other one? Dow Jones. It looks like I'm finally live now. It's showing up on my live stream. Yep. Okay. So perfect. I wanted to see just what I was doing here on the markings. You'll see that on the daily chart. We have our 12 a.m. open. Looking to see if I can get this filled. I'm just curious here. I'm looking to see if so I've been looking over some the charter playlist, and usually what I call it Model 2. They go over about entering on the 4 GMT candle, 400-hour candle, and leave it at 50 pip stop loss, and just letting it run on the week. I believe it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, but just testing it to see if it was a Tuesday. Would have entered on the 12 a.m. 50 pip stop loss would have been stopped out. Looking for more bullish price action as we are in a big time frame bullish buy program. Uh-huh. Go over here now. Let's see. Alright, so that's the daily. We have a bullish breaker. Where are you? No, we don't. What am I saying? I'm very interested in seeing more about how we form this. Notice how we broke structure here. Usually I like seeing this when there's like a higher time frame PD rate to react from, like a reversal trade. This is a powerful turning point if it's a reversal. Wherever we see this composition, if it's tied to a liquidity pool that's, for example, down here at O low, and we had this formation, this to me, I would have interpreted that as a almost like a type 3 daily range, because we've tapped a higher time frame low, and just seeing it expand higher and higher and higher. When it's just laying there like that, especially on a premium side of a daily range, look at this, premium discount, we're on the premium side, we're reacting like this. It kind of almost gives me this confidence that we might even retrace back down, perhaps to OTE before we continue to go up higher. But still a good price action nonetheless, because we have a high to low, a higher low. So we have a failure swing. There's a form of speed here. We didn't even balance this imbalance over here, so this is even good news. And then we extended upwards, breaking up that old high, that old short-term high. So that's really good. I mean, it shows signs of strength, but it's just that where this composition is placed, I would prefer to see it like a really deep discount. This could mean that we're also just really eager to just finish this external range of liquidity and just break this old high and just get to new high territory. But we also know there's a lot of longs that are also making money. So how would you scare off those longs? You make them worry about their position that they're in, right? Make them self-doubt. And what are ways you can make that happen? You can easily reprice to an old low, a very short-term area where there's a lot of sell stops. Where are the most of them? Down here, even to this external range. Uh, yeah, just kind of like a way to take out those weak longs. You sell when they're in profit, right, and then you reprice down. They're kind of scared because now they're losing money. So what they want to do, they want to sell it. So you have smart money, you want to buy it back from those people who are selling. Those people who were X longs, now they're short. Now they're panicking. So you buy what they're selling. You know that it's cheap. You want to take it higher. You make your formation, take it higher. Now you're not just making money on your initial position. Now you're making more money because you took it out from the people who panicked and sold. All right. Now I gotta. So you kind of caught me in a position where now I'm marking up my my markings. Well, that's a very very tight new week opening gap. Wow. So much like a level. Okay, no need to new day opening gaps because that's pretty much just asking for a new week opening gap. Get it? So we start a new day opening gap. What's the close on Friday? Okay. No, what's the opening? There. There's two types of new day opening gaps. There's the one that ends at 4:14 and it opens at 6 o'clock, and there's the one that ends at 5 o'clock and it opens up at 6. In this case, we have like a little bit of a gap. See that price kind of meandered around that area. 4:15. We'll take the 4:15 candle, even though it's not 4:14, but just work with me here because we're in a 15-minute time frame. So you kind of just played around that area. And let's take a look at this open. The open of this candle comes at 23,767 and a quarter. 0.5. So just by a tick, it repriced up higher. So there's also two types of new week opening gaps too. There's the one that closes directly on Friday and opens up again on Sunday at 6. Then there's the one that closes on Friday and opens up at Monday 9:30. So that's another new week opening gap. And there's two opening range gaps. In my theory, right? The regular trading hours variant, which is the one where you take the closing price from previous days at 4:14 in regular trading hours, and then open up again at 9:30, the new date. That's the one we're taught, opening range gap. Then there's the opening range gap electronic trading hours. That's my theory. That's the one where we close on. That's the one that we close at 3 p.m. and then open up at midnight, and then see if there's a gap in between. So, for example, if we take a look at this, go back to the 1 hour, close at 3, open up at midnight, see this gap. We open, it's a premium opening. I interpret this as a busy. So a busy that needs to get filled. Look at that, price retraced down to the lower quadrant, acted that consequent encouragement as support. Look at this candle formation at 3 a.m. And then look at the next following candle open right at the consequent encouragement, repriced up, and look at where these bodies are landing. The closing, then the opening. It's behaving in those quadrant levels. Coming back down, repriced to it. They didn't really go down to the lower quadrant again, so that's good. We kind of just wicked in there and then expanded up higher. So this is kind of like the electronic trading hours opening range gap that I like to refer to. And let's see, there's any. I don't think there is any here for midnight Monday. Let's see. Monday midnight at open, and then Friday's close at 3 o'clock. Okay, so it's another premium opening, so I consider that as a busy. How do we behave? Well, from here onward, we traded back up to the busy, back down. Are we going to treat this as an inverse array? Hey, interesting. And look at this wick here at the 8 in the morning candle. The high comes in at 23,756 and a quarter. And look at the number one here. So that's 21,755, and the high here is at 23. I'm sorry, 23,755 is the high of the electronic trading hours opening range gap, and then the high of this candle comes in at 23,765. So it's 10 handles above. Okay, so then reprice down. Causing this gap to be sell side imbalance, buy side inefficient. It's a busy, right? So it's a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So once it traded down, that's sell side balance. And now we traded back up, we waked up above it again here, so that's buy side balance. So this is a balanced price range here. And now we're gonna look to see if it will react down lower, because again, we've already balanced this area out. We're still in a big buy program though, so that's where things can get a little challenging. So if you don't know still, this is where we're gonna start looking at our sessions, seeing what's been left behind. And I believe, yes, I did. Okay, that's good. I thought I was gonna be marking up old gaps again. Okay, and then leftover liquidity. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is the part where I gotta catch up. Because we've been reacting up old highs here, which is good. Have we gone SMT yet? Really? Wow, really? But before we even get there, let's start marking out, see what we left behind here on Asia. Right, because Asia's the first one that we saw here on Sunday. We haven't even looked at the news portion of it yet. A lot that goes into markings, you know. And all of a sudden, people just want to go in there and start trading, you know. A lot of preparation that goes into this. And you're seeing this happen right now, live. Yeah. Nice first presented. Traded down to it, wicked above it. We didn't even close down below it, so this is good. Priced high. We got unfinished business up here. Let's try 0.5. Where are you? Okay. Yes, I know I'm live. Thank you. Let's present the reaction. Connected out that old high. Everything is in sync. If you look at that price action right now, it's disgusting, no? When we get up here, and we got the pre-market. Okay, one. Quarter. Okay, and then we'll do this. Where's the first one? $39.34, and we're opening down lower. See that? Okay. 9 o'clock. Where are you, 9 o'clock? This is good. Have we come back up to that 8:30? So we have. What do you want? It's my cat. Perfect. So we have some resting liquidity here at 8:30. Now price can refer back to. Oh boy. All right. Let's see here. So 8 o'clock. We got some resting liquidity here. Okay, see that? And then now we'll also pull up the intraday. So we got. Okay, that's good. Curious how we'll react using to this low here. This guy. All right. Curious how we'll react up to that low. In the meantime, I'll pull up my whatever's been left over and see. Oh boy. Okay. Yes, so we're still in this humongous buy program. You can remove that. Just low to high. We're looking for that high to create the initial sell side program to get into the deeper discount. Now I remember. Okay. Whoops. Hang on a minute, guys. Okay, so let's see here. So I see these two highs over tapped here by the MNQ, but they were not referred back to by the other one. So that to me is SMT. Okay, you can even forget about these old highs here. That's extreme highs. Um, yeah. I wonder if these lows. What's up with these lows here? Yeah, these lows will refer back to, so they should have no problem in trading down to it here. They're gonna do that. This is Fridays, right? Oh boy. Okay. Let's bring this over to the let's bring these over to the other. This one and this one. 5 8:30. Okay. This old high has been referred back to. Tap through it, to it, and through it. How do you say it? And then this, could this be the inception of a new swing high here? So if this is the inception of that sell program, we have to retrace a long way down to these lows to make sure a sell is in place. So what old lows have been referred back? These lows here. These lows right here. So it should be easy for it to go through. Same as these lows too, because they've already been referred to as well. Look at that. Okay. Now what are we seeing here today? We're seeing that reaction on that old high. Oops. Where is it? Here, right? Okay. We didn't tap it on any of them again. Okay, so there is some form of SMT here. All right, so this is what I'm seeing, right? So we're still stuck in this big higher time frame buy program, right? That's like from, where are you? Based like on the 3-month. It's let me zoom out here. So we're still stuck in this big humongous buy program located from the inception here to this low to this high, right? Price has been retracing back down all these past couple of weeks, days even, and we couldn't find a measure of SMT low to be formed based on these old lows. Then price started doing this expansion upwards. So we are stuck in what we call a phantom leg of a phantom leg. So from this here, there's no settlement in the lows. From here to here, there's no settlement of the highs until today, Monday. You see here that by the end of Friday, actually, we've been referring back to these old highs here. like the highs of London close from 2 weeks ago, and the highs of AM highs from not last week, but the week before that. And we're not seeing that same kind of correlation with the other markets. So US 500, US 30. So this could already be another second leg expansion from what we thought was down here. It was going to be the inception of the sub program, now being moved to up here. Perhaps this could be the beginning of the sell program as well. We have if that's the case, we would need to see some displacement to head down below, down to these levels, to up to the upper quadrant of it. Not that I remember. Let me go ahead and see here what could be some news. What could be some news that we could have this week that could perhaps see some form of aggressive price action? So oh my goodness! So tomorrow we have CPI numbers coming out. And Wednesday, Thursday we have PPI, and then Friday we have core retail. So definitely be on the lookout for Tuesday and Wednesday. So today there's no news. No, there's some news, but he's scheduled to speak at 10 a.m. When is that? Like 10 minutes? 8 minutes? So this guy's going to speak in a couple of minutes. And yeah, that could impact the markets in some way. Let's see here. Let's do this. Get rid of you and go back to the daily. Right, just to kind of help us get that view here. Nope. That's not what I wanted. There we go. So I do favor the sell side to get back to that 75% so we can complete this displacement. There's also a couple of things we have to look at too. What would be our entry? We could also look at the open at midnight. That was also something here too. You can look at if you favor the sell side. See that? 1, 2. Let's see, midnight. The opening of this candle. 1 tap, 2 taps. Okay, and then letting a 50 pip handle. 50 pip, or in this case it'll be 50 handles. And then letting that sucker run to sell side. Now what time is it? 9, about to be 10. Yikes. Dealing range lower. Okay, got these buy stops. Sold down lower to that London lunch. Did we see any form of displacement here? Yeah, we did. Look at that. All right. Nice. So we had this balanced price action, sell side, buy side right here. Picked it up with this high, expand it down lower to meet lunch sell side here. So what kind of unfinished business do we have? If we're gonna go up, we got the CME open here from like 2 weeks ago. But since we're favoring the downside, we also got this to meet that expansion lower, right? So that we can finally create that beginning point of the sell program. We've tapped the 12 AM twice, not once, but twice. Now possibly going for the third time. If this happens, then I'm starting to favor more of the bullish side of things as well. I'm interested in how we're using this sometimes as discount and support. What risk support and resistance? So look at that. Candles are here. Used it as support. Displays down lower. Used it for support here again. So this old high here is really interesting to look at. If we're going to continue higher, then this will be the target. Okay, well, what formations are there now in place that can help support that idea? Well, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, high or low? Where are my favorite tools? There you are, buddy. What are you doing over there? Okay, we had a higher low, high to low, lower high, excuse me, high to low, lower low, lower high. With this high did not break this, so I would consider this a breaker formation. This sell side delivery was met with a sudden up buy side delivery right there. So this little portion of price here is balanced. Okay, that's what I'm referring to here. Specifically, what is your breaker? This buy side portion, these two up candles. I'll be interested in seeing price revert back to those candles. Okay. So that's the 60 unit time cycle. Now I'm now going to take a look at the 30 unit time cycle. Okay, we have a high to low, lower low, higher high. Let's look at that again. High to low, lower low, higher high. Same thing. Dealing range. I'm going to refer back to these levels here. Okay. And then lastly, the 15 unit time cycle. What are we seeing today here? We got, what is it, 9 or 10 o'clock? Now, this failure swing going up, expanding up higher, I favor that reacting up as an OTE entry when it's stacked above supporting structure in place to take it up higher. If it's by itself in solitude, I like to treat it as a turtle soup entry, low to go up to go higher. And you always forgetting something too. also have these highs to attack to as well if we keep going up. In this case, however, if we do want to see up higher liquidity get tackled, and we have not one but two supporting structures that this breaker block may be sensitive, supported by the fact that we have this failure swing up, I believe if it retraces back down, we could start to see this low, and I'm using the bodies here, low to high, can be used as a OT entry. Push where? Push the new higher highs, CME, buy side liquidity. Okay. Added to the fact that if we wanted to see shorts, this 12 a.m. level would have been just super sensitive. We shouldn't be re-challenging it again. Now seeing how we're behaving down here, I think this guy's gonna go up. Okay. So my markings are as follow. If it's a red line, it means it's an area of liquidity that we haven't referred back to. If it's an orange color, then it means it's been referred back to by this current market that we're watching. And if it's yellow, it means there's some form of SMT. We have referred back to it. Either we did or someone else did from this class. Now, if we were to look for a long, set up our 20 handles up there. Whoa, I just saw some quick, crazy reprice take place right now. 954. Let's take a look at the 954. No way. So I just saw some quick repricing done here in futures market. And we're going to see if that's going to be the reaction that we needed to take things to go up higher. This guy did start speaking a couple minutes ago, didn't he? Leave it to him to come into the market and destroy everything. Okay. All right. Well, he's supposed to be talking right now as we speak. So let's see if that will be something that causes us to, because there was this big sudden price action right now on price. Let's see. Are we gonna start seeing a form of a black swan event to head down things lower? Or was this what we needed to see in order to continue to see price go up higher? Because there was this big sudden price swing at 10:04, like literally a couple minutes ago. 10:03 even, not yet 23. So this candle, where on futures, this thing just wicked all the way down here. Okay. I forgot that we're also in a buy program we have a paper trade account here that we've been trying to grow. Oh, this one's annoying. if we have reacted, if we've done everything that we needed to do in order to see price go up higher, I would like to see this order block here, this future order block. Get on a buy stop and you just see price keep going up higher. Wow, I didn't anticipate a reaction like this. This is good. We have also closed above 75% of this dealing range, so that was some crazy repricing done in a minute there. Okay, still feeling pretty bullish here. And we gotta expand up higher. If we're gonna go up higher, then we're gonna reach down to this pool of liquidity. Big beefy candles incoming. Crazy how it referred back to this level. It's 705. Uh, let's see here. It was 10:10, right? When did that happen? 10:4, like around 10:15. I'll show you guys what the heck happened on MNQ here, because this is very interesting. How it repriced at this almost at the moment where this guy started speaking, right? So that was the news that we got at 10 a.m. that this guy was going to start speaking, and the sudden wick in price action, right down to OTE, and the sudden reaction that we're having now. That's what we want to see. If we're going to go up to unfinished business up here. Okay. We're re-challenging that 12 a.m. entry that I was telling you about up here. Where are you exactly? 12 o'clock entry. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap. Okay, let's see. Let's get in that rebalance here. See for a very, very quick scalp. Let's see here. Okay, so now that it's 10:22, wow. Okay, so we're gonna update this marking. Um, just beautiful. Only just beautiful today when it reaches back up here. Let's see, 10:20, 10:10, 10:15. Okay, we have another area that's balanced, referring to these lows here. Okay, see that price repriced down here real quick after 10:15. Use that as support along with the busy here. Sippy. Okay. Wow, hold up. I have a theory. I have a tiny little theory about balanced price ranges. Look at this. We have a Sippy here. Okay. And look at when it was met here with buy side. Let's go ahead and see if we could wick that. Okay, see how there's like a little gap here in price? Look at how price immediately just referred back to it and then sold off higher. Why? Because this Civi here, when it was met with this busy later, this sell side and this little tiny portion of buy side was balanced. Came back down, wicked to it, expanded up higher. See that? That's very interesting. In a structure that's in place that can help us support that we're gonna go up higher. Isn't that something, folks? Okay, we're referring back now to the London highs here. Once re-challenged it again. So let's see, since it re-challenged it not once but twice, see if maybe it's going to be a weak sign for it to go up higher. For this 15-unit time cycle, I'm interested in how its external range liquidity it's being used, if it's going to continue to go up higher. So we have this high here, that's the external range. As soon as it broke up above it, came back down. I would like to see it act as a support to continue the uptrend to go up higher, not a purge or revert kind of model. Okay, we also have this failure swing. When it's referred back to it, price kind of just wicks through it. But we're still in the idea that we're going to get up to these old highs because they haven't been referred back to. They just haven't. It's unfinished business. Okay, the 1025 mini macro has begun. So we'll see if price will displace down lower to get more sell stops, or if it'll displace up higher. Run to an inefficiency or liquidity pool. So this is the liquidity pool that we're aiming to see if maybe the macro will give it to us. I mean, what is this guy even saying today? Like, what's he even gonna yap about? You know? Taking my screenshots now so I can refer back to it on my journal. Okay, so he's gonna talk about plans for homelessness and crime. Okay, close, open. So we have a discount opening, so I will consider this a Cibi. Price is re-challenging up this Cibi, no? That should be like there's a premium array and just going up and up and up. So, interesting. Oops, let's go back into the 1 hour. Okay, so about to be 10:29. So I'm gonna move my stop loss a little once it reaches 10:30 up to this high. Or actually, let's update our markings here. No, yeah, that will still be a good stop loss to have around here. Because now this portion of this area has been bounced. Okay, since it's 10:30 now, this has been balanced too. This 30-minute unit cycle, yeah, this 30-unit time cycle has been balanced from this sell side met with buy side as it's balanced, and it met with another balanced structure here. So since they're stacked together, and we got somewhere to be, I'm looking to see if this will react as of the OT entry right here, like that. Let's see if it will expand up higher. Okay, let's see if that will give us the repricing that we need to go up higher. Now we're referencing the 30-unit time cycle balance price action. All right, so I'm losing trust in this OTE today. Maybe we need to retrace back down here, top of this breaker block. So that's another buy signal down to here. See if we want to retrace back up there again. Right there. Ow. This failure swing is also stacked inside a breaker. So let's just see this breaker act as support to take us continue going up higher. So the OTE level here, that's going to be our entry. Okay, 1038 is when this started expanding up higher. That first initial, what should we call it, OT entry would have been golden, though. Let's see if it would immediately rebalance this. So now, because we've been spending time here, right? Quite a bit of time. We should be seeing expansion up to make higher prices. Now that we're spending some time, I'm really reconsidering this old 12 a.m. open, right? Because the idea is that we're trying to make that sell side delivery program. So we should ideally see some displacement down lower to 75%, no? So if that's the case, maybe we could see something that happened kind of like Friday, where in the AM session we attacked bullish price action. So we did some, yeah, we attacked some premium arrays in the morning, only to then see it continue up. Or was it Thursday? It was Thursday of last week, where it went back down to deep discount. So since we're taking an awful lot to reach up to this higher time frame, right, which is supposedly our goal initially, Seeing that we've been spending some time there, I'm interested in seeing it go down now as a form of displacement down lower to initiate the sell program. Okay, especially since this structure in place should have been the cause to make price keep going up higher. We were going to head up there. Now it's also 10:44, so we should be seeing some new structure in place. Here at low, so relative equal lows. Okay, we have a low to high, lower low. The type 2 dealing range for a reversal. But on futures, we're seeing a low higher low. Refer to futures first over CFDs. This was our mitigation right here. I would have referred to this to like 11 and seeing if that will take price down lower. Because even though we broke this low, right, we would interpret that as a type 2 reversal dealing range to continue to go up higher. Supports our idea. But I've been telling y'all that it's been taking a while for price to react in such a manner to take us up there. If that's the case, I'm looking at the futures price action, but we didn't break that external range low. So I'm even considering if this was even a valid structure. If it wasn't, we actually don't have a dealing range. We actually have a failure swing or a mitigation block. So this was, even though this low to high was balanced, this would have been our zone of area of interest where things would have been balanced to take price what you may call it, take price higher. But because we have a dealing range, we have a mitigation block, failure swing. The inception of it were these two sell candles right before the big failure swing happened. Because I'm referring futures, the next 15 minutes, I want to see price use. You saw me. I entered on a sell stop on the lows of here, but it filled me just a little bit further below it. That's fine. And now I decrease my stop loss from up here to down here, because now this is going to be my mitigation block, stop loss, updated based on the idea that we were using the 12 a.m. to go down lower if we're not going to get down to these buy stop liquidity. So we're seeing a disrespect OTE entry here. All right, that's pretty cool. And now we're going to see if it's going to disrespect this breaker. That's what this is going to rate. That's kind of kind of important. If it's going to continue to go up, that's kind of like its last barrier of entry. But seeing where we're coming from, I do believe now that we're going to disrespect that. Okay, so it's 10:49. So it's been 4 minutes past the 10:45. So around 10:52, I'll go ahead and update my my stop loss. I'll go from this high now to medium threshold of it. And seeing if that will take us lower, because look at this, already referred to. The yellow means it's been tapped by someone else. So there's really nothing else here getting in the way except for New York lunch from last week's Friday. And because we're looking for that anticipation of that displacement, I'm wondering if the low here, even 75%, that will be the low that we need to get to. So let's see what happens here, because it looks like we're re-challenging again. Turtle soup. Regular black, okay. Okay, so it's re-challenging that old mitigation block again, tapped it again in there, and it's immediately expanding down lower. Sudden shift in bias again, huh? I didn't like that OT that we had here, and the way it was just behaving. It's kind of really sus. And before I used to think, oh man, price give me a long time. It's gonna expand up higher. Trust, trust, trust. But you gotta also be open to the fact that things can change at a given moment. So if things change, you're gonna have new profit objectives. You're gonna have new structures in place based on time. That's kind of like where these time cycles come into play. My unit site, my unit time cycles are based off my balanced price range theory. In that every time there's a new cycle that occurs, new structures in place that will change the goals of the market. All right, we'll be challenging it up here. Let's see what happens. This is kind of like the last straw right here because we're in that 1050 macro. So we're looking to see expansion down to liquidity or an inefficiency. Right now, the liquidity that was resting up here, we're not trusting it anymore. The only liquidity that's been left over is from Friday. So we're looking to see if that will be the expansion that we need lower. So we add even more into the position based on this swing that we broke on the fourth candle, that low. So now we're looking to see the swing to continuously fail to go down lower. I've updated my stop loss so that it can reach to medium threshold. See if it will continue to head down lower. $55. I also noticed that on futures we went back up to the the block right here, but on CFDs we didn't. Isn't that interesting, huh? All right, we should get out. We should get out of this external range liquidity. What is the external range liquidity? This low to this high. Passed by it already. So wondering if we're treating it as a purge and revert kind of model. $10.05. $10.05. Okay, I don't like that we're referring back to this thing again in the next 30 minutes. 29, 11:30. There we go. And now we're gonna do this. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but okay. And then lastly, we have this whole area here. Have a low to high, higher, higher low. So what's that? That's a form of a bearish 59, 10 o'clock. Okay. Refer that until 11. I'm sorry, 12. Bearish breaker. Specifically speaking, that sell here, that sell side delivery. All this is the bearish breaker. So now that 11 o'clock is going to open up soon, I'm looking to see if it will, since it had already challenged here, I'm looking if it will just expand down lower quickly and not dare to challenge the tops that we've made up here. I would prefer that. But if it doesn't, we have these higher forms of premium resistance, if you will, where this has already been balanced. And we also have this mitigation block in play as well. All to aim down to external range, which is, let's see, external range is located down here. That's awesome. How it just closed and then opened up at 11 o'clock with that void. That was pretty cool. I'll lower down my stop loss again to match the medium threshold of this balanced price action. Or even up to this low. Come on. Excuse me. It's just price action is pretty good. I'm wondering if I should update my stop loss to break even. I mean, we should be safe because this whole area has been balanced, so even just reaching up to the low here shouldn't be challenged. We failed the bearish breaker again. Well, looking for it to react with speed down lower. Okay, this area has been balanced too, so I'm curious how it will react. We've been wicking about it, but we'll see how it will expand down lower. And I think this is the part where I'll go on mute, guys. See if it will reach down to AM lows right here first. But ideally looking for it to trade down to that 75% to finally initiate that sell program. And we'll look to see if how we will behave moving forward. So let's check it out.